Here at Milan Puskar Stadium, a cool, chilly Saturday afternoon here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Yeah, the fans, they are bundled up. Dana Holgorsen in his 6th season as the head coach here at the Mountaineers, 45-30. Really honest with us this week about how he has evolved as a head coach, and he has certainly done a good job with this program. He thought his team would be good this year, and they have been good. At 9-2 overall, 6-2 in the Big 12. And for Baylor, in his 1 year as the acting head coach for the Bears, Jim Grobe taking over for Art Briles. He said his job was to come in here and just put an arm around these kids.
Yeah, and I think that they did a very good job in light of everything that happened. There's no way you could get rid of the assistant coaches. They needed the structure of that system. We'll see what happens as the year unfolds and we go into 2017. But Grobe was really kind of a perfect middleman to come in, take care of these kids, be a face of the program, and talk to everybody.
And what happened? Well, the turmoil in the offseason for Baylor. Art Briles was fired. They hired Grobe. They started the season 6-0, went to number 8 in the AP poll, but then they have lost 5 in a row. Average margin of defeat over 20 points per game. And that's where they are right now, having lost 5 in a row after their loss last week to Texas Tech, 54-35. They have elected to receive.
It's going to be a gut check here for the Bears in this cold weather in Morgantown.
Mike Molina kicks off. Tony Nicholson to return from the 5, and Nicholson has a bit of a hole and gets up across the 25 to the 27. And what should we watch for when Baylor has the ball?
Well, I'll tell you what, KD Cannon, this is a great wide receiver. Smooth style, pretty runner, great routes on foot speed. West Virginia's got a good secondary. That's a great matchup. And as far as that matchup, Rasul Douglas, cornerback, ball hawk, 8 picks this year. He leads the nation. Big and long, 6'2", 208-pound corner. They had one in Worley last year. Here for the Mountaineers, just a lot of fun to watch defensively.
On first down, the handoff is to Terrence Williams, and Williams gets hit by Christian Brown. Christian Brown tackles him after a pickup of 1, and that's been a big difference for West Virginia, their defense. But Zach Smith, the freshman quarterback last week, coming off his best game, 30 of 46, 377, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Second down and 9. Pass over the middle is tipped in the air and intercepted. Marvin Gross Jr. back the other way. Chris Platt, it was off of him in the air, and Marvin Gross Jr. is there to pick it off, his first interception of the season, a return of 24 yards.
Well, we talked about Zach sitting back there and distributing the ball. Here it is. And that should have been caught, and that is just one of those things. Let's see if the ball hit the ground, and if we have an angle of it. Chris Platt had both arms on the ball. Smith did a good job of getting that ball down, trying to keep Platt from taking a big hit. And Marvin Gross Jr., the recipient of the gift, that ball popped up like a lollipop.
And I tell you what, if this does stand, this is one of those opportunities right now where Jim Grobe will see what his team is really made of. And let's take a look.
Well, he's got both hands under the ball, and then he loses it. That's a pick all the way. I don't see the ball ever hitting the ground, and that's a very good angle. Here's another one. That's both arms under the ball. You see that right arm all the way under the ball. You don't see any part of the ball touching that West Virginia logo in the middle of the field. Pretty good coverage by Harper, who was all over him, and that's why Smith threw the ball down like that, which was a good throw.
Marvin Gross Jr., the junior out of Baltimore, Maryland, with the interception and the 24-yard return. Dana Holgerson waiting for the official call.
Here he is getting down to get it. Should have been a catch for a first down. Instead, that ball pops up.
But this will be a chance if it does stand, or if it is confirmed, where what does Baylor do? How do they respond, having lost 5 in a row? Having dealt with the adversity. The referee is Mike Duffy. The replay official is Don Cup. And I think Mike right now is thinking, can we make a decision? My hands are getting cold.
It's going to be a long day out here.
Here it comes.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Interception.
An early turnover here, the interception, and now great field position for West Virginia's offense.
You can't ask for a better start. They came out physically tough on defense. The best group they have is their D-line. Stout against the run on first down, second down. They get a gift of an interception, and Zach Smith, I'd say he has to bounce back from that, but it was a good throw.
So now Skylar Howard will take over at the Baylor 30 with Russell Shell in the backfield. On first down, Skylar Howard will run with it. And Howard dives forward to the 27, gets 3, and what should we watch for when West Virginia has the ball?
What about these guys up front? Adam Pankey, Tyler Orlowski. These are beautiful offensive linemen with a physical mentality. They're playing fast.
Shell will come up about a yard or two shy of that first down marker as he gets 5. Trayvon Blanchard with a tackle.
The strength of the West Virginia team on both sides of the ball is the D-line and the O-line, and KJ Smith for Baylor, playing in the end and on the inside. A very versatile D-lineman has got to be the guy to stop that O-line from getting too much of a push.
On 3rd and 2, the pass to Javon Durant was dropped as he went to go run before he had it. And here Dana Holgerson says, keep these guys on the field. We're going for it here on 4th and 2.
When you have an O-line that can get a push, it's a pretty good idea to do so. Let's see how they attack it.
Howard on the run, throws one towards the end zone, up in the air, and it's incomplete. So Baylor does the job defensively off the interception. Ryan Reed was there on the coverage. Durant was in the end zone. But the Baylor Bears, the defense makes the stand, does not give up any points. Scoreless game here in the first quarter. No score here in the first quarter off the turnover. Javon Durant is okay. It looks really bad.
Yeah, you see him go up to try to get that ball, and he came down on that right ankle, rolled it over. Took him a little while to get up, but he seems okay now.
Zach Smith here on first down, hands off to Williams. And Williams gets 4 yards, tackled by Al-Rashid Benton.
I really like Terrence Williams, Justin. He's a punishing runner, averaging 85 yards a game, 10 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he can go deep. He's had a 57-yarder.
On 2nd down and 6, a throw towards the sideline. That was nearly picked off. Antonio Crawford was there. Katie Cannon, the intended receiver. Zach Smith, he made a good throw on the first interception. This one looked like a forced one.
Well, you see the safety over the top. Not a good throw to make. And they're dropping a lot of guys right now trying to confuse the young quarterback. That time it was successful. Good call by Tony Gibson.
3rd down and 6. Fakes one way, comes back the other, and completes the pass to Ishmael Zamora. And Zamora has enough for the first down.
Only played in 8 games as Zamora, but he's second on the team with 50 catches.
Coming off a big week last week, 12 catches, 155 yards, and a touchdown against Texas Tech. Williams up to the 34, gets 2. Noble Achukwu with the tackle.
And that's what West Virginia's looking to do on first down. Limit their ability to get any kind of chunk yardage so they don't get into that offensive rhythm to help the freshman quarterback, Zach Smith.
Second down and 8 here for Baylor. It's Williams again. A good run by Williams. Justin Art on the tackle, but not before Williams gets 7, setting up 3rd and short.
Nice forward lean, the little jab step to create just a little bit of space.
And on 3rd and short, West Virginia comes up with a stop. David Long able to stop Terrence Williams at the line. 4th and 1. And right now the offense is staying on the field.
Well, we saw an interesting call on 4th down from that man, Dana Holgerson. When his team had the ball on the turnover, he decided to throw it instead of running the ball with big Russell Shell. This time it looks like Jim Grobe is going to punt.
Well, now Drew Galitz comes on. Gary Jennings is back deep for West Virginia at his own 20. This goes out of bounds. It looked like it hit a player for West Virginia, but it will be West Virginia ball when we come back after a 31-yard punt. Skylar Howard didn't do much on the first drive. What does he have in store for his second drive? Scoreless game here in the first quarter. No score here in the first quarter. Baylor and West Virginia. Time now for a look at the 4 keys to the game. One of them is to dress appropriately.
That guy has jean shorts on. Baylor's got to strike quickly. They want to score fast. They have to score fast. The freshman doesn't really have the wherewithal to take them on a 12-play drive. It's not the way the offense is built. And for West Virginia, Tony Gibson's dogs have got to eat. That's what they call this defense, the dogs, with a W. They want to get after this Baylor team, especially that freshman quarterback.
On first down, the handoff is to Justin Crawford, and Crawford moving that pile. He's going to get 11 yards and get a first down.
Well, he's been the man this year. Transfer from Northwest Mississippi Junior College. Had his first career start versus Mizzou this year, and he's averaging 7 yards a carry. Just a great back, a great replacement for Wendell Smallwood from last year.
Crawford trying to dance his way, able to dive forward for a yard. KJ Smith, the guy that you highlighted, makes the tackle. Second down and 9 here for the Mountaineers. Howard with time. Over the middle, throws high, but it's caught by Marcus Sims. Good job by Sims going up and bringing that one down.
And we said that Skylar Howard struggles a little bit in the intermediate routes, but Marcus Sims was able to bail him out there, bending that body back and making a nice play.
A 13-yard completion. They keep it on the ground this time. Look at this little move here by Justin Crawford. And Crawford gets 9 yards. Second down and 1 coming up. Orion Stewart with the tackle.
You know, Matt Liner was talking about it right before the game in the studio. This West Virginia offense has tremendous balance, and a lot of people could never see that coming with a Dana Holgerson offense, and that speaks to what we were also discussing, his development as a head coach. And the balance starts with that physical offensive line and that tough quarterback, Skylar Howard.
Sims in motion. A handoff. It's Crawford again. And he gets the first down. Taylor Young back after missing 3 weeks with a knee injury with the tackle, and Taylor Young is a big key for this defense for Baylor.
Ball at the Baylor 35.
Yeah, he's got a big brace on his knee right now. He's still only played in 8 games, but he's second on the team in tackles.
Crawford again takes the handoff, gets 2. Tyrone Hunt with the stop. Second down and 8. Dana Holgerson, he told us, he said, you know what? My first couple of years here as the head coach, I was still in offensive coordinator mode. I didn't learn. And then all of a sudden, in 2013, we went 4-8. I learned.
Yeah, he was checking stats. You know, he was worried about things like that. You see, he's not scared to milk the clock and run the ball now.
Martell Pettaway in at running back. He takes the handoff, and Pettaway takes it across the 30 up to the 29, where Taylor Young is there again. Pettaway gets 4 yards.
Nice block by the fullback, and I love this player, Elijah Wellman, making way for the freshman Pettaway.
On 3rd and 4, Howard taking a shot down the field into the end zone, and this is out of the end zone. The intended receiver was Shelton Gibson. And 4th and 4 is now coming up here for West Virginia.
Howard throws a pretty accurate deep ball. Grayland Arnold is back there in coverage along with Orion Stewart. Gibson is their deep threat, and he really had a chance at this ball, but everything carried him out of the end zone. Just a little overthrown by Howard.
Mike Molina on now for a 46-yard field goal attempt to give West Virginia a 3-0 lead. From 46, no good. What did I say at the beginning? These two teams combined for a lot of points. So far, none.
It's cold.
Scoreless here in Morgantown. Time for a game break. Let's go to LA. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Gentlemen, the Bedlam rivalry game over on Fox. Number 10 Oklahoma State and Norman taking on number 9 Oklahoma. Joe Mixon, who had been held to 20 yards on 10 carries until this. Mixon would go 79 yards for the score in the 4th quarter. It's 38-20 Sooners now in the 4th, and Justin Petras. This game will determine the winner of the Big 12.
It will indeed. Here, West Virginia's hoping to get their 10th win of the season on 1st down. Christian Brown takes down Jamichael Hasty at the line of scrimmage, setting up 2nd down and 10. And Baylor going fast, which is what they do. Zach Smith escaping some trouble. Smith gets rid of it down the field. A flag is thrown, completes the pass. The true freshman Jared Atkinson. Let's wait to see what this flag is for.
I'm not sure if Atkinson went out of bounds or not, but how about some escapability? Yeah, you see the hat off the official. Somebody went out of bounds there. Zach Smith got away, and he is not that mobile of a guy, but got away enough and kept his eyes downfield to keep the play going. Let's see if it stands.
Illegal touching of the pass. Offense number 3. He went out of bounds on his own, came back in, and was the first to touch. It's a loss of down at the previous spot. 3rd down.
Here it is. You see Atkinson coming down the field, kind of bubbling there. It's out of bounds before that because you see the hat from the official on the ground.
So now 3rd and 10 here for Baylor.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought. Just only 1 foot was out.
Yeah. Hasty goes in motion. Pressure. And going down is Smith, taken down by Adam Schuler. A loss of 1.
Well, you got to give Tony Gibson a lot of credit. He dropped 8 guys and only really rushed 3.5. Arndt is kind of hanging around the line of scrimmage. If you can get a sack, dropping 8 and rushing 3.5 guys, you're going to have a good chance to get off the field, and that's what they just did.
Drew Galitz on to punt again. Gary Jennings at his own 30. Fair catch signaled and made at the 40-yard line. A 31-yard punt once again. You know, when the season began, I don't think many people had Wisconsin against Penn State for the Big Ten championship.
I don't think a month ago anybody had that either. It's going to be interesting.
On first down, they swing the pass out to Kennedy McCoy. And McCoy takes it up to the 46-yard line, gets 6.
Howard getting the ball out to the edge there. West Virginia starting to open up the playbook just a little bit more.
On 2nd and 4, the handoff is to Russell Shell. And Shell is tackled by Patrick Levels. About a yard shy of that first down marker at the 49-yard line.
I think it's important for West Virginia in this 3rd and short situation to show that they can push forward and get a first down. You know, this is going to be a game of wills in this weather, and West Virginia does have the more intact, talented offensive line. Let's see if they push forward and use this fullback and get it going.
Some confusion defensively for Baylor, and now Baylor's forced to call a timeout.
Baylor takes its first time out of the half. 30 seconds.
For West Virginia, right now, they got up to a 6-0 start, ranked as high as number 10. Their 2 losses against the teams from Oklahoma, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. But they are bowl eligible for the 5th time under Dana Holgorsen, and they're 1 win away from their second 10-win season under him, and their 9th in school history.
Not only that stuff, Justin, but I think beyond what they've done this year is that they have an identity.
I agree.
Yeah, West Virginia has a clear identity under Dana Holgorsen, and it's not an air raid identity. It's an identity that I think everybody in this state can relate to, and that's why they have so much momentum right now.
3rd down and 1. Marcus Sims goes in motion. Howard goes under center, and they just push that pile.
There it is. Howard just getting up under center. They don't do that a whole lot in this offense. Elijah Wellman with a nice push. You always get a free shot at that quarterback in his back when they run the sneak.
Howard. Forced out. Just throws one high in the air, deep down the field. And it's incomplete for Marcus Sims. There on the coverage was Chance Waz. Tell you what, one thing about Skylar Howard, he will just throw it up in the air down the field.
Yeah, he likes to throw the deep ball. He really does. And he squared up his shoulders and got that one out. And he's been a little bit inaccurate with that deep ball in this game. That time he was on the run. But from the pocket, a little bit more inaccurate than he usually is this afternoon thus far.
Just 2 for 6 and 19 yards so far for Skylar Howard here in the first quarter. Howard keeps it. And forward progress is stopped at the 44.
I think he realized he should have given the ball to Russell Shell there. And if you realize you made the wrong read in the moment, the best thing you could do at the quarterback position is to follow that guy into the hole, because that's where the read was in the first place. But now you have an extra blocker. Nice job getting 5 by Howard.
Sets up 3rd and 5. Howard with time over the middle, and that one is picked off. Taylor Young. There is a flag on the field as Young is out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Devontae Mathis was the intended receiver, but Taylor Young, making his return from a knee injury, has the interception.
Makes a pick with that big brace on his leg. The all Big 12 linebacker from last year, making a huge play for the Baylor defense. Let's see what the flag is. There's a long conversation going on.
There's a flag in the secondary, and it looks like a flag over by the sideline as well.
there are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, defense, that's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 1. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. After the 10-yard penalty, it'll be 1st and 10.
So let me see if I got this straight. There's 2 penalties. Both of them are on number 1. Taylor Young for the defensive side, the guy that made the interception. They got him for holding. He's got a hold of Mathis there and ends up making the play. The unnecessary roughness came from Shelton Gibson, who pushes him out of bounds. Well, he ends up going over the bench, but I don't know if he pushed him while he was on the white at all. But either way, after all that, West Virginia with the ball back.
And they pick up, by my calculation, 5 yards.
Yes, in college, both penalties get enforced. Mike Pereira told us that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because the unnecessary roughness is 15.
Yes. But the important part is they keep the ball and they get a first down. And that official gets his flag back.
What? I mean, do you think they bring extras? What do you think, they just have 1 flag?
On a day like today, they might use it as like a handkerchief. Here now on first down, it's a handoff. Kennedy McCoy tackled by Tyrone Hunt, and he gets a yard. That's what's interesting about these 2 teams. They both roll in 3-4 backs.
And that's kind of how it is today in college football. I mean, you have your teams with a bell cow that really like to feature one guy, but I mean, 2 of the best running backs on the country are on the same team in Oklahoma, and they have a way to coexist. It's just very different than the Walter Payton days.
On 2nd down and 9, a good hole for McCoy. And there is a flag along the far sideline. And it's going to go against Baylor.
Baylor offsides there, so there's your 5 yards back.
I think it was against number 43, Jamie Jacobs, but this is what we're talking about. Rolling in 4 running backs. And all 4 running backs have had at least 1 100-yard game this year.
Well, Shell has been here a long time as a big backup. Nice changeup. Crawford's taken over that Smallwood role. And then you have 2 freshmen who are pretty excited.
Howard with time again, taking the shot down the field. And there's a flag thrown as Shelton Gibson was the intended receiver. Orion Stewart and Chance Waz were there. And it looked like Gibson just ran into one of them.
Well, Gibson has the best average per catch in the Big 12. He is a legitimate deep threat, I would say, other than D.D. Westbrook and Washington at Oklahoma State. He's the best receiver going deep in the conference, and they can continue to do that and try it, and you're going to get a penalty, or he'll probably go up and get it. He is very dangerous. Coach Grobe knows, and this defense has come out looking a little bit undisciplined for Baylor to start out the first quarter.
Well, the microphone for Mike Defee is not working right now, but there was a penalty, and now it's 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Howard steps up, takes the shot, overthrows the intended receiver, Gary Jennings.
Howard really trying to stretch the field. Not all these throws have been on mark, and most of them into double coverage. Crown wanted a late hit there on Orion Stewart.
Flags thrown.
Flag on the play.
That one's on 94, I believe, Xavier Jones, for touching. Once you touch, the offense does not have to run a play. They're not going to run a play. When you touch them, they're going to blow the whistle. And that's what Jones did.
4 penalties the last 6 plays for Baylor. And the fans here at Milan Puskar Stadium, they're not hearing the microphone either of the referee as McCoy takes the handoff. We've got another flag. Blanchard with the tackle. Let's get back to our lip reading skills.
Well, Phil Bennett's out on the numbers. Very angry.
It was holding on the offense.
So that has to be the call that he wanted. Looks like the hold is on Tony Mateo, number 70.
Second down and 15 now for West Virginia. Quick pass, and that's a drop by Devontae Mathis. So 3rd and 15 coming up here for West Virginia.
Mathis only 3 catches on the year, trying to go down and get that one.
Howard, pressure coming. Flag is thrown again. Do we have a second flag? We do. You get a flag. You get a flag. Everyone gets a flag.
Ryan Stewart again was on the coverage there. Flags in the backfield where you would get holding. Flags in the secondary where you would get pass interference.
I think the officials just threw a flag at each other.
Is that 6 or 7 now on this drive?
Is Oprah in the house? Now the funny part about this is that Mike DeFee is going to try to tell everybody what these flags are for, and nobody's going to know what they're for. We're all going to try to read some lips and figure this out.
This might be on KJ Smith for hands to the face. These both might be on the Bears.
Let's see what we got. Multiple fouls in a play, pass interference. Number 28.
Yep.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense. Personal foul, roughing the passer.
That's 3 on the play.
All offsetting.
All right. You see number 56 there. I thought that was the hands to the face call. There's the roughing the passer, which I don't necessarily agree with either. And down the field, Orion Stewart with the PI must have got his hands on Sims before that. They're saying it's targeting on Patrick Levels, who hit Skylar Howard. And he did hit him with his head, but there's no helmet to helmet, and he wraps him up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he drives him into the turf a little bit, but I don't see how you can throw a kid out for that. He hits him right in the sternum there.
All right, let's bring in Mike Pereira from LA right now, and let's see if Mike's lip reading skills are as good as ours, and if he can decipher what we're trying to figure out here. But we do know, Mike, that they're looking at targeting, and what's your take on what he's looking at right now?
I don't know. Now we know how valuable the microphones are. Huh? we really have 3 fouls called and probably a 4th, because you could have defensive hands to the face also.
Yeah.
But it's all revolving around this targeting call, and again, it's to me, it's not targeting. I mean,
I believe that's what he said.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is no targeting. He said there's no targeting because his head was up and it's below the neck area. So all of this stuff it's just one big giant offsetting penalty here, is what I assume Mike DeFee would explain if he actually had the ability to do it. But this gives me some value here. I'm gonna be ready to flick on my microphone anytime we have something to chime in.
Yes, please do. Stand by. 6 penalties by Baylor this drive, and after all that, it's 3rd and 15 for West Virginia. Howard throws high, incomplete. Was looking for Dakeil Shorts.
And after seeing a few drives, it looks like Skylar Howard's a little bit off with his throws today. The deep stuff has not been going for him. This is what he struggles with, the intermediate stuff. He had a drop on this drive. That one wasn't even close for Shorts.
He's 2 for 9, 19 yards on the day. Mike Molina on for a 50-yard field goal attempt. He missed from 46 earlier. That was from the opposite hash mark. From 50, this one is good. A new season long for Molina. His previous long was 44.
Hit it pretty good, and he was hitting those in warm-ups. We were down there watching him. Strong leg. Not too much wind to speak of. It's damp out here, but he got it pretty good.
So after all that, all the penalties, it results in 3 points for West Virginia.
Dana Holgorsen probably talking about how weird this game has been to start out.
Yeah.
Flurry of penalties, some mistakes. His quarterback is a little bit off. Defense forced an early turnover, but the offense could not capitalize. And Baylor's offense has just been kind of hanging around, shadow boxing. They haven't gotten any kind of rhythm going whatsoever.
So now Molina, after that 50-yard field goal, will kick off with Troy Nicholson back deep to return for Baylor. And no return here. Time for a game break. Let's find out what's going on with Bedlam. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Well, the Bedlam is quieted now, gentlemen. It's over on Fox. A rivalry game over in Norman. Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma, beating Oklahoma State 38-20. The final for the Sooners head coach Bob Stoops, his 10th Big 12 title. And now the Sooners' playoff hopes are going to rest on the outcomes of today's remaining games and, of course, the thoughts of the selection committee.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Bob Stoops and Oklahoma for winning the Big 12 this year. Petros, I think you actually said it weeks ago that they were kind of the sleeper team in this whole thing.
Well, everybody wrote off Oklahoma and really the whole Big 12, after Oklahoma lost to Ohio State.
On first down, the handoff up the middle of Terrence Williams, and Williams up to the 31, gets 6 yards, tackled by Antonio Crawford.
But the truth is, Oklahoma has 2 of the best backs in the country, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the country, and one of the best wide receivers out there.
Terrence Williams breaks a couple of tackles. Here comes Williams down the sideline, and Williams gets shoved out of bounds by Jared Harper at the 21-yard line. A 48-yard run.
Well, the hole was there, and he followed Blake Blackmar right through it, took a big hit, and stood up. Ran through some tackles by Marvin Gross Jr. and Jeremy Tyler. Nice run by the big guy.
They're going with a Wildcat here with Ishmael Zamora. And Zamora gets a yard. Second and 9, Zach Smith back in at quarterback.
Well, that's one way to get things going. If Baylor can run the ball, everything changes for Zach Smith, because then West Virginia is unable to pin their ears back and pressure him the way they want to try to confuse the young freshman. If they can run the ball, That'll change the complexion of this game.
JaMychal Hasty in the backfield. Smith swings it out, completes the pass to KD Cannon. Jeremy Tyler brings him down. Cannon gets 6.
There's Kendall Briles, his father Art, obviously the architect of this offense. Wide receivers way out past the numbers, spreading everybody out, and that's their bread and butter, throwing those hitch plays and getting a good lead.
3rd and 2. A drop ball by KD Cannon. Excuse me, did he pull that one down after he was down?
This doesn't happen very often.
Wow.
Cannon loses the ball, but then
Oh my gosh.
is able to stretch out and make the play. Very athletic off his original mistake. He actually caught it 3 times. And now they're going to take a look at it, but that's a good catch.
KD Cannon, who has caught a pass now in 37 consecutive games. Obviously a guy with good hands.
In real time, I thought the ball was a little bit behind him. It was not. It was right on the number 9. And just superior athletic ability to stretch out and go get it.
It is confirmed as a catch. And with that catch, he also has the first down, setting up 1st and goal.
This has been a good drive by Baylor. They pulled it out with that acrobatic play by Cannon on the 3rd down. A nice long run by Terrence Williams. And here they are with the most successful offense we've seen in the game so far.
So it's 1st and goal from the 10 now for Baylor. Trailing 3-0 with 18 seconds to go here in this first quarter. A weird first quarter it has been. Up the middle with Terrence Williams. And he gets a yard. Christian Brown is there, and that will be the end of this first quarter. These two teams combined for 100 points last year. In this first quarter, they've combined for 3. It's been a defensive struggle thus far, but West Virginia leading 3-0. But 2nd and goal coming up for Baylor to open up the second quarter. A look at the first quarter stats. Nothing really jumps out at you except for maybe penalties. 5 for Baylor. Penalized 35 yards, 2 for West Virginia, 25 yards. But look at this.
And a lot of offsetting penalties that aren't out there.
And now you're looking at 2nd and goal for Baylor. They're down 3-0. But 6 plays, 66 yards on this drive for the Bears. The big play was the run by Terrence Williams. He's in the backfield next to Zach Smith. And he takes the handoff, and Williams breaks free to the end zone. Touchdown, Terrence Williams.
Heck of a run by the sophomore out of Ennis, Texas. Punishing runner, there's no doubt about it. And look at him coming downhill. Breaks 2 tackles there, breaks another 2 tackles there. They could not keep him out of the end zone.
He had that 48-yard run, and now the 9-yard touchdown run, and that's his 11th rushing touchdown of the year. And that'll bring on Chris Callahan for the extra point. Baylor now leading 7-3. Terrence Williams, one of the 3 backs for Baylor, does most of the work on that drive, and he capitalizes with his 11th touchdown of the year. A 75-yard drive where Terrence Williams did the bulk of the work. 64 rushing yards on that drive. Had that 48-yard run, a 9-yard touchdown run. And now Baylor leads 7-3 as we're just underway in the second quarter.
And Williams got that drive going by breaking tackles, and you have to do that. West Virginia, really one of the more good tackling teams in the country, and of course the Big 12. You had the nice throw from Zach Smith to Katie Cannon on third down that he was able to catch like the third time he tried. And there you have a touchdown drive for the Bears.
A short kick by Galitz. It's Gary Jennings. And he fumbles it. And it looks like West Virginia has recovered it. It looks like it's Kahari Sharif who recovered the fumble.
Well, he's got the ball out a little bit unprotected, but you see the helmet right on the ball. And sometimes you just can't fight against that as a ball carrier. That's Jordan Williams knocking it clean out.
Crawford goes in motion on first down. Howard, he spins away from a tackler, and Howard able to get up to the 22. Greg Roberts brings him down.
Not a lot of quarterbacks strong and tough like that they can get hit and make a spin move and start spinning forward for 3 yards.
Handoff.
Yeah, how about that? You get hit, spin move, 3 yards, you get up, you run a play 5 seconds later. This West Virginia team, different personality-wise, but they can still play as fast as any Dana Holgorsen offense.
After the 6-yard run by Crawford, third down and 1 here for West Virginia. Pettaway has the hole, and Pettaway has the first down up to the 43. A 16-yard run for Martell Pettaway.
True freshman, Detroit, Michigan, 181 yards on the year with a touchdown, and he gets better and better as the season goes on.
Now it's Crawford. Crawford spins away from a tackle, and he just goes down at the 43 of Baylor.
You know, they talk about arm tackles and guys running through arm tackles. That's what happened there. Tyrone Hunt, 6'5", that's a long arm, and Crawford ran right through it.
This time it's kept by Howard. And Howard to the 37. Trayvon Blanchard tackles him after a pickup of 6.
Well, that's one way to get the quarterback's rhythm going for Dana Holgorsen. He's been a little off throwing the ball. Run the ball, see if you can get a push, and let Howard run the ball and get a forward lead. That might pull him out of his slump throwing the ball that he had in the first quarter.
They keep it on the ground with Pettaway. He lowers the shoulder. He lowers the shoulder against Orion Stewart and gets 9. A good answer here by the Mountaineers after the touchdown drive by Baylor. A good play in the backfield by Trayvon Blanchard.
Blanchard on the run through, he came out clean as a nickelback. Made a good play. Nice blitz dialed up by Phil Bennett.
Second down and 10 here for West Virginia.
How about Pettaway, the play before, running over Orion Stewart, 2-time all Big 12 safety, getting trucked by a true freshman.
Howard taking the shot to the end zone again, too deep. Incomplete. Ryan Reed there on the coverage. Marcus Sims brought it down, but he was out of the end zone. And there is a flag down by the 30-yard line.
Let's see if we charged up the white hats. Mike.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense number 81. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay second down.
That's against Trevon Wesco, the tight end.
Skylar Howard takes a big shot from Taylor Young, and we thought that he might get a roughing the passer there, right to the chest, and that's where the flag came right out, but no, it was on the tight end for hands to the face.
So now 2nd and 25 as the ball is backed up to the 43-yard line. Howard rolls out to his right, throws back over the middle, high, incomplete. Shorts was the intended receiver.
Really nice play call, getting Howard out. He sees Shorts, and the ball is just sailing on it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Chance Waz wasn't looking because he could have had a pick. Instead now, Howard keeps it and runs for it down to the 37, gets 6. Avion Edwards with the tackle, and 4th and 19 coming up.
Strong recovery by Edwards there, the linebacker, staying at home with the misdirection and making the play on the quarterback. And that penalty just killed West Virginia, and a pretty good drive that they were putting together. That and Howard's inability to complete passes here all of a sudden in the first half.
2 for 10 is Skylar Howard. Billy Kinney on to punt with Troy Nicholson at the 10. Fair catch signaled and made at the 12-yard line. Well, Baylor's offense, they average almost 531 yards per game. That's good for 4th in the nation. They lead 7-3. Back on the field when we come back. Baylor leads West Virginia 7-3 here in Morgantown. Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
SEC championship game, Georgia Dome, number 1 Alabama against number 15 Florida. Gators rolling the tide on the opening drive. Austin Appleby to Antonio Callaway, 5 yards and the score. That's the first time Alabama's allowed a touchdown since October 22nd. 7-3 Gators in the first. Justin Pedro.
That stat's incredible.
A lot of people said Florida wasn't going to score in that game. I guess they scored.
A lot of people are oftentimes wrong.
No doubt.
On first down, Smith throws towards the sideline, and it's incomplete. Jared Atkinson could not come down with a foot in bounds.
Throwing the ball accurately has not been easy for either of these quarterbacks. That one a little high from Zach Smith. Hard to get warmed up in this kind of weather.
Last drive, they kept it on the ground with Terrence Williams. On second down, Smith throws this one away. Ishmael Zamora was in the area. Now 3rd and 10.
I thought he had a little more time to survey the field. Feet got a little happy there, and that's something you can expect from a freshman quarterback. You see the numbers so far on the day.
Could be a big play here for field position for West Virginia. Smith, incomplete, was looking for Ishmael Zamora. Rasul Douglas there on the coverage, and now what's going on down by the goal line?
A little bit of tussling. I don't see any flags. Tony Gibson angry too. You know it. On 3rd down, if your defense can get off the field, then get off the field. Don't stick around.
David Long have it right now. So now Drew Galitz to punt from his own end zone with Gary Jennings right around midfield. A fair catch is made at around the 41-yard line. 7-3. It's cold. They got to stay warm somehow. Getting into it, Williams and Long. Last game of the season. Demetrius Johnson will put his belt on the line against the winner of the Ultimate Fighter, Tim Elliott. Here on first down, a run for West Virginia. It's Russell Shell who gets a yard. The Ultimate Fighter finale is coming up next here on FS1.
Well, it's been a fight for both of these quarterbacks because they're struggling. Between the two quarterbacks in this game, they're 5 for 18 with 35 yards and an interception. And Smith's a freshman. I mean, I understand, but Skylar Howard's got to pick it up.
Howard 2 for 10, taking the shot deep down the field again. He's now 2 for 11. Marcus Sims, the intended receiver. That's 6 straight incomplete passes for Skylar Howard, and it's 3rd and 9.
And the less and less success that Skylar Howard has in the play action and getting the ball down the field, the more and more you're going to start to see the safeties and linebackers of Baylor creeping up to stop that zone run that they're so good at executing. They have really got to find a better way offensively. Here's a big 3rd down.
On 3rd and 9, Howard in trouble, escapes, and now he goes down. The pressure applied by Greg Roberts. Howard lost his shoe, and it's a loss of 8.
It looks like he has a lane there, but he runs right into his own guy, Tony Mateo, the guard. Big survivability is in the pocket by Howard, but Patrick Levels is able to clip his foot and get the sack. Great job by Baylor getting off the field.
Billy Kinney on to punt again. Tony Nicholson from the 25, a 4-yard return. So West Virginia's offense has been essentially non-existent here today. It's 7-3 Baylor. All right, thanks, Mike. 7-3 here in Morgantown. Baylor leading West Virginia. The Bears having lost 5 in a row. And think about the way this game began. The interception, West Virginia getting great field position at the 30. And now look at this, another big run by Terrence Williams as he gets 11 more yards. David Long with the tackle. And Baylor once again going quickly. Smith with time. Down the field for Cannon. And that is caught by Cannon. There is a flag.
Accurate deep throw by Zach Smith. First you get the punishing run by Terrence Williams, and then playing fast, Baylor goes deep.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Katie Cannon, 60 yards.
Antonio Crawford out of Tampa, Florida is the guilty party. Let's see if he was just trying to save a touchdown there. Just a little bit of hand fighting. Katie Cannon, smooth player, hauls that ball in and trots into the end zone.
And now the extra point by Callahan is good. 11 touchdown catch of the year for Katie Cannon. And the response by Baylor, I think, is the biggest statement so far today. The fact that the defense made the stand early after West Virginia had the ball at the 30 off the interception and the return. They didn't give up any points. And now this.
See some cushion here between Katie Cannon and Crawford. And they're playing fast. He knows what he wants to do. We talked about his foot speed, puts his head down and just runs a go right into the numbers of Crawford. And a nice throw by Zach Smith. That's how the Baylor offense works. Quick run, throw it down the field.
71 yards in 18 seconds. It was a key to the game. It's what you said. Drew Galitz to kick off. It's Shelton Gibson from the 1. And Gibson gets back up to the 22-yard line. A 21-yard return. And the issue right now for West Virginia is offensively, they have gotten nothing in the air from Skylar Howard.
And they've got to find a way to get him going. They've got to find a way to get him a completion or two, maybe a nice run, something to get the confidence back in their senior quarterback. This is a guy that's played the ball all year with big confidence, and it's not happening right here on senior night.
On first down, they swing it out wide for the completion to Crawford. And there's a flag.
That's Trevon Blanchard with the late hit, the junior. Was it a late hit, or was it just a violent hit? Phil Bennett dumbfounded by the penalties.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense number 48. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic first down.
Well, that's one way to help out the offense.
Let's see if Crawford's headed out of bounds. He is out of bounds, but Blanchard's coming off a block, so it would have been hard for him to see in that situation. He made a good hit, but just a bit late. I understand the flag.
Handoff to Crawford. Crawford with good explosion. Gets 9 yards, second down and 1. Ryan Stewart with the stop. It's Crawford again as he's got the first down up to the 49 of Baylor. And you got to think right now for West Virginia, just confidence-wise, they need something good on this drive.
Yeah, but they don't need to be impatient. You know, they've thrown the ball too deep too many times to no results so far in the game. There's plenty of time left. You're right in the middle of the second quarter. They just need to calm down and realize they're playing at home and refine their identity.
And again, it's Crawford. And again, a good run for Crawford as he gets 10 more yards.
The run game for the Mountaineers is very interesting to me because they're primarily a zone running team, but they do it in such a quick hitting way that there's very rarely a cutback. Everything stays front side, which means it's very physical.
Ryan splits out. The pass comes near side, complete to Gary Jennings. And Jennings gets 6. Second down and 4. Handoff up the middle. Crawford forward progress up to the 30, gets 3. Taylor Young then sends him backwards.
And West Virginia has been able to move the ball running it. They have gotten Shell, Mosley, Crawford, and Petaway involved. Even McCoy a little bit. All 4 of their backs. There's Petaway, the freshman, in the game for the 3rd and short. But can they throw the ball with any kind of success? So far, not really.
128 rushing yards for West Virginia, now 3rd and 1.
Traditional I formation with Elijah Wellman at fullback.
The handoff and a break free by Petaway. Petaway gets 9 on 3rd and 1.
Look at the physicality here. First, Wellman with the hit on Taylor Young. And then Petaway putting a highlight tape together for running guys over.
Stay in the same formation. And now they give it to Shelton Gibson. And Gibson takes it up to the 17-yard line. He gets 4. Avion Edwards with the tackle.
I like the change up there. Your quarterback is struggling. You're running the ball with some success. Throw a little reverse at him. Show him that Gibson's going to do something else other than go deep.
Petaway. Up to the 15-yard line, gets 2. Taylor Young with his 4th tackle of the game. 3rd and 4 here for West Virginia. The Mountaineers just 2 for 7 on 3rd down conversions today. 10th play of the drive coming up. Petaway with the cutback. And forward progress, he'll get a yard. So 4th down coming up. They're trailing 14-3.
Pretty conservative call, because I feel like they wanted to get about half of it. Go for it.
They are going for it on 4th and 3. Martell Petaway in the backfield. They give it to him, and Petaway, he's got the 1st down based on the far side.
Pretty close.
Where they were spotting and where he ran in from.
He missed the hole. He should have gone behind Kyle Bosch. Instead, he goes in front of Kyle Bosch and basically ran himself into a tackle. That's what they're telling him on the sideline. KJ Smith makes the play. I'm not sure if he got it.
On the spot.
Oh,
wow.
And when you give the ball to a freshman back in those situations, you know, he's not always going to put it in the right place. I really think the Mountaineers dodged a bullet there. Now look at Bosch, number 62. Do you see how Petaway should have gone underneath him and scraped off his behind? Instead, he runs right into KJ Smith, who makes a play.
Now 1st and 10. The handoff to Justin Crawford. Able to spin forward to the 7, gets 4. Howard, design quarterback run. And Howard gets up to the 4-yard line.
Here's another 3rd and short situation. You wonder if Dana Holgorsen is just going to run it twice again right into Phil Bennett's defense.
3rd and 3 coming up here for West Virginia. Crawford moves over to the right of Howard. Howard will throw it this time, and it's incomplete. Chance was there to Dakeil Shorts, the intended receiver.
Well, here's a short route for Dakeil Shorts, just running it out. That ball is off again. Hits Chance was in the back. Another errant throw by Howard, and they're going on 4th down.
On 4th and 3, they're going for it. Howard to the end zone, the back, does he come down? Touchdown! Shorts able to get his foot down. They'll look at it. They do say touchdown.
Dana Holgorsen with some frustrated play calling, throwing the ball again, trying to get his quarterback on track. Back of the end zone, Shorts. Oh, he did it. What an acrobatic play. Say what you want, ballet dance, modern dance, foxtrot. He did them all. Got that right foot down, and Skylar Howard, finally, something positive, throwing the ball down the field for the Mountaineers.
Dana Holgorsen going for it a couple of times on 4th down, and it pays off. And now a timeout called by Baylor. Phil Bennett wants a timeout before the extra point, but a 15-play touchdown drive took over 5 minutes. And give a ton of credit to Dakeil Shorts, because he came down and it looked as if he realized that he wouldn't be able to get the left foot down, and as he's in midair, he switches to make sure it's the right foot that comes down. And let's bring in Mike Pereira. And Mike, what you see on it?
You know, I see, if I'm the replay guy here trying to confirm this, you're exactly right. He gets the right toe down before the left knee hits. And then the other element, he's going to the ground, so he has to hold on to the ball. He has to maintain control of the ball and not lose possession, which he does. He's got the right hand clearly on the ball. Ball never moves, never loses possession. So it's a clear touchdown. Great play. And by the way, if I could just chime in, it was a pretty darn good call, too, by the way.
It was. It was a very nice call by the back judge. It is confirmed. And now Molina. First touchdown of the day for West Virginia. And now it's a 14-10 ball game with 3:52 to go here in this first half.
Well, if your quarterback's struggling, get back to your most veteran player on the edge. Da'Keil Shorts, 33 career starts here in West Virginia, the most catches on the team. And just a special play, showing great body control. Da'Keil Shorts bailing out Skylar Howard on another high throw. And let's see if that gets him on track. And Baylor's a quick strike offense. Let's see if they can strike back and answer that score.
And you think about how crazy the game of football or sports can be, but that's fourth down, right? You don't make that play, confidence to Baylor, what happens? Now all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. And now Mike Molina will kick off. Tony Nicholson back deep for Baylor. Can Baylor respond like you just said with their quick strike offense? Or does that touchdown give some confidence to the West Virginia defense? It's Nicholson from the 3. And he brings it out to the 27-yard line. Time for a game break. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
SEC title game at the Georgia Dome. Getting wacky, guys. Alabama blocking a Florida punt. Joshua Jacobs would return it for Alabama's second non-offensive touchdown of the day, the 14th time they've done that this year. Florida, though, would block the point after, pick up 2. It's 16-9 Crimson Tide in the second.
So it's been a weird, wacky day there. It's a weird, wacky day here in Morgantown.
It's colder here.
It is. So cold. Got to be careful. You don't put some chapstick. You couldn't look like Yoda with Yoda's lips after a little while. Terrence Williams. They say he's down.
And it looks like he's in some pain. Oh, he's going to get up.
Really on the field, his forward progress was stopped prior to the ball coming out. Second down.
He got rolled up on and the ball came out. They're saying forward progress was stopped. And it was. They were bending him backwards there. They shook him up.
Ishmael Zamora is in the Wildcat formation right now. Now it's second down and 9. Zamora really had nowhere to go, made something of nothing. Up to the 32, gets 4.
Well, this is a big third down now because West Virginia, with all 3 timeouts and some momentum offensively, can get a stop and another opportunity to take the lead in this game, or at least get closer.
3rd and 5 here for Baylor. It's a handoff. And a good run by Jamichael Hasty. Tackled by Jared Harper. Picks up 8 and gets the first down.
Nice block by Dom D'Souza, leading through. Hasty, a redshirt freshman. Pretty good year he's put together for a young guy.
Hasty again. He'll get a yard. Justin Arndt, a great story for West Virginia. Former walk-on, leads the team in tackles coming into this game with 71. The pass complete to Cannon, and Cannon takes it beyond midfield to the 49, picks up 10, moves the chains.
Let's see what kind of tempo Baylor uses with one timeout and another first down if they trust this freshman quarterback, Zach Smith, to take a couple shots.
Coming up on 1 minute to go here in the first half. Smith moving around, taking the shot down the field again, throws this one to a West Virginia player, intercepted. Jeremy Tyler with his second interception of the season. Chris Platt was the intended receiver.
Well, we talked about trusting the quarterback to take some shots, and Platt kind of gives up on his route and then starts again. The truth is he came open a lot sooner than Zach Smith saw him, and if he was going to throw it, it needed to be thrown a lot sooner than that. It doesn't help that Platt kind of throttled down on the sideline too. Just an ugly looking play by the Baylor Bears after a couple good first downs.
Second interception of the game for Zach Smith. The first one wasn't his fault. That one probably was his fault.
First and 10 for the Mountaineers, ball at the 3-yard line.
So now West Virginia takes over at their own 3-yard line. And they're just going to try to run it, create some room with Justin Crawford. Don't forget, coming up, it's the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show with Mike Hill, Matt Leinart, and Brady Quinn's in studio today.
It's a lot of quarterbacks. I love them.
Where's the running back?
I guess he's still up in Santa Clara.
2nd and 5. Crawford again gets the first down, picks up 7.
Very strange half, Justin, but it does seem like West Virginia kind of wrestled back law and order, but they're not winning.
Nope, they trail. They're trailing 14-10 at the half to Baylor. The Bears trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. West Virginia trying to get their 10th win of the season. After the break, we'll get you to LA for the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. They're hoping for some more fireworks here in Morgantown as West Virginia trails at the half 14-10 to Baylor. Justin Kutcher alongside Petros Papadakis, and Petros kind of surprising, really. We expect to see a whole lot of points with these two teams, not much in the first half.
Well, West Virginia ran 50 plays. They had 16 first downs and were only able to muster 10 points. Amazing that Skylar Howard struggled the way he did throwing the football. We'll see if he can get his bearings in the second half. And Baylor just kind of hung around and made some plays.
And let's take a look at that first half and see really how Baylor did it, because they did it really on the ground first to give Smith some confidence.
Well, some great physical running from a big, tall back in Terrence Williams, just strong. And this was really the play that sparked anything for Baylor's offense, the long run, and then he finishes it off, breaking a few tackles and scoring. And the long pass from Zach Smith, the freshman, to K.D. Cannon, fits it in a tight window deep. Skylar Howard has been struggling, but bailed out there by Da'Keil Shorts with an unbelievable catch and foot acrobatics to score, and there we are.
A look at those first half stats. The total yards are just about even. The penalties, the fourth down conversions were huge for West Virginia. Both their fourth down conversions came on that touchdown drive. Yes, it's the holiday season. We're past Thanksgiving, so it is okay to wear the Santa outfit.
Absolutely.
The leaders for Baylor, Zach Smith, 5 for 11, 86 yards, but most of those yards coming on that touchdown pass, 60 yards to KD Cannon. Terrence Williams, 11 carries, 90 yards, 48 of those coming on his long run. And KD Cannon had that 60-yard touchdown catch. He's got 80 yards on the day. West Virginia will receive to open up this second half. Drew Galitz to kick off. Shelton Gibson, Gary Jennings are back deep for the Mountaineers, trailing 14-10. It's going to be Gibson from the 4. And Gibson has a hole. There goes Shelton Gibson. There is a flag. Gibson outraces everybody. He's going to go 95 yards for a touchdown. But let's see what the flag is for.
During the return, holding return team number 38. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First and 10.
And you can see the hole opening up for Gibson. And he has got the speed to get through. I think the hold is right here in the middle of your screen. Yeah. And there was a jersey being pulled. Shane Commodore with the penalty.
So one of the most exciting plays in a football game, a kickoff return for a touchdown, gets negated because of a holding call. So instead of points on the board, it's now West Virginia ball at the 15-yard line. On first down, Skylar Howard completes the pass for 5 yards to Da'Keil Shorts. Howard 5 for 15 in that first half, 30 yards. Justin Crawford 88 yards on the ground on 14 carries. On 2nd and 5, another quick pass to Jennings. And Jennings diving forward across the 25, gets the first down. Trevon Blanchard with a tackle.
Jennings already been targeted a handful of times, only 7 catches coming into this game, and that time West Virginia taking a page out of Baylor's scorebook.
This time the handoff up the middle to Crawford. Avion Edwards tackles him after a pickup of 7.
And you see that something well, you might throw it right at him. That hitch play was one of those.
Another handoff for Crawford, moving that pile up to the 38, gets 6. Orion Stewart with his 4th tackle of the game. Howard taking the shot down the field. His intended receiver was Marcus Sims. The coverage by Ryan Reed.
Well, you're going to see Sims running that go route. Reed is all over him. Little jersey pull there at the end may have prevented Sims from getting that ball. A little bit more accurate on that deep ball from Howard, especially from what we saw in the first half. And they're still making those attempts for those low percentage throws.
2nd down and 10. Handoff. Good cut by Crawford. Lowers that shoulder to try to deliver the blow against Orion Stewart. as he's out of bounds after picking up 6.
Pick up 5. 3rd and 5, ball to the 43.
Just 3 for 10 on 3rd downs. Swinging out. Couple of nice moves by Sims, but Sims will be short of that 1st down marker. Trevon Blanchard with a tackle, one of the playmakers for this Baylor defense. So 4th and 1 coming up.
Sims making the play. Da'Keil Shorts trying out there and block for him. Same with Elijah Wellman. Skylar Howard unhappy he wasn't able to go get the 1st down. And West Virginia's going to have to give it back.
Billy Kinney will punt. Tony Nicholson is back at his own 10.
What the punt team there tried to do was get a shift and attempt to get Baylor to jump.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Bears did a good job of holding their water in there. They did not jump. Holgerson will take the penalty and kick it away.
Elijah Wellman is the one who went under center, the fullback. Worth a shot, right?
It is if you have that shift play and you're right in the middle of the field. That's where you do it. Works in high school a whole lot.
Nicholson gets hit right away, wrapped up at the 21 by Toyus Avery. A 38-yard punt by Billy Kinney. So think about this for West Virginia. They had that kickoff return for a touchdown negated by the holding call. The offense couldn't really move the ball too much, and now they give it off to Baylor and Zach Smith for the first time here in this 3rd quarter. And Baylor trying to snap this 5-game losing streak. As you mentioned when we came back on, they didn't look great, but they hung in there, and they've got the lead now here at 14-10.
Can Zach Smith make throws consistently to keep this offense going, along with the running of Terrence Williams?
Shock Linwood is in at tailback. Zach Smith, his first pass is dropped by Zamora. Jared Harper was there on the coverage. The last 4 possessions for Baylor, a couple of touchdowns, a punt, that interception before the half when Smith took that shot down the field and was intercepted by Jeremy Tyler.
And those were quick strike drives, especially the 2nd touchdown, and that's really the key for the Bears to get on the field and off the field on offense. This West Virginia defense pretty stout, though, not easy to score quickly on.
On 2nd and 10, tipped, incomplete. The intended receiver was Jared Atkinson.
Quick throw after the fake to Shock Linwood. And a great job by Christian Brown, who's been very active in this game, getting the hands up and reacting.
3rd and 10. West Virginia trying to force a 3 and out. Handoff up the middle is to Linwood. He gets stopped after a pickup of 3 yards. Justin Arndt with the tackle, and West Virginia's defense does just what they wanted. They force the 3 and out, force the punt for Baylor.
Nice job by Arndt making a sure tackle against a very celebrated back. Had a lot of great years at Baylor. Shock Linwood. West Virginia stepping up for their offense and getting the ball back.
Drew Galitz to punt with Gary Jennings around his own 35. A low punt. Jennings lets it bounce. And this takes a Baylor roll all the way inside the 15, down at the 14-yard line. A 62-yard punt. Skylar Howard, he has struggled in this one, looks to get it going here. There is a flag, a couple of them on the field. We'll find out when we come back. Back here in Morgantown, 14-10, Baylor leading West Virginia. It is senior day here at Milan Puskar Stadium. Skylar Howard before the game, coming out, getting a big hug from his coach, Dana Holgerson. And it's been quite a journey for Skylar Howard.
Well, he wanted to play in the Big 12, Fort Worth, Texas native. Walked on at Stephen F. Austin. Then he ended up on the West Coast in Riverside, way down the 91 East Freeway in California. Spent a year there. Came to West Virginia to play for Dana Holgerson. It's been a lot of fun to watch him develop with this offense and watch his physicality, but man, does he need to get it going in this game. They've really struggled. And you know, he was 44% in a loss to Oklahoma and 57% in a win versus Iowa State. So maybe we should have seen this coming. Right now he's 41%.
West Virginia backed up at their own 7 after a hold on the punt. And here is another flag being thrown after the carry by Martell Pettaway.
Flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
That's against Grayland Arnold.
There's Arnold with the hand. Easy call on the face mask. Stays on there for a long time on the freshman, Martell Pettaway. Now he's really in there trying to knock the ball out, but he got a handful of face mask instead.
So now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. It's Pettaway again as they fake the reverse. Clay Johnston with a tackle, a pickup of 4 for Pettaway.
Pettaway only about 203 pounds, but he runs a lot heavier than that. He's run over at least 3 guys in the course of this game so far.
Howard with time. Incomplete, just overthrows Shelton Gibson. I mean, it wasn't even close.
He had him on that intermediate corner route. Let's watch his footwork, see if there's anything going on with Howard. Has both his feet planted, is able to step into that throw. He is just missing tonight.
20 attempts, 44 yards. 3rd and 6 for Skylar Howard in the West Virginia offense. Gibson in motion. A handoff to Pettaway. Tyrone Hunt stops him shy of that first down marker after a pickup of just 3. The offense comes off the field. It's still pretty stagnant for the Mountaineers.
And a very conservative call there by Dana Holgerson, going with the freshman into the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and long situation. But I think you just saw him there shrugging his shoulders, saying, I'm not sure what to do. They're having a lot of trouble getting Skylar Howard settled down, throwing the ball in this game.
Billy Kinney on to punt. Low punt. Nicholson at the 30. Well, we at Fox Sports are deeply saddened to learn of the unexpected passing of our truck engineer, Rocky Walden. We pass along our thoughts and prayers to his family. Still 14-10 here in the 3rd quarter, 9:55 to go. Justin Kutcher alongside Petros Papadakis here from Milan Puskar Stadium, the final Big 12 game of the season. Congratulations to Oklahoma, who defeated Oklahoma State in Bedlam, the de facto Big 12 championship. And so they are the Big 12 champions this year. How about the stiff arm there by Ishmael Zamora. And Zamora gets 12 on that catch.
Double hitches, and Zach Smith goes for the one all the way out there past the numbers to Ishmael Zamora. Physical run.
A physical run here by Shock Linwood. Now Rashid Benton with the tackle. And off up the middle once again. Shock Linwood gets 12, tackled by Marvin Gross Jr. And this Baylor offense is moving the ball against West Virginia's defense at the 38. Zach Smith moving around. Zach Smith in some trouble as he goes down, reaches forward as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, we were talking about Shock Linwood, had a couple good runs there. A salty vet, 47 games played, 30 career starts, but he's given way to Terrence Williams. He's become a change of pace for him, who is longer and heavier than him. But Shock Linwood still has a future running the football.
Shock Linwood had a huge game against Iowa State this year back on October 1st. 25 carries, 237 yards. Linwood bounces away from David Long, but Long still able to trip him up. Gets 2, third down coming up.
Nice play by David Long, because Baylor was in an unbalanced line and they were bringing Linwood in behind it. But Long came in on the backside and ran through and made that play. Otherwise, Shock might have had the first down.
Smith looks over towards the sideline. Baylor trying to make it 4 of 8 on third downs in this game. Play clock down to 2. Smith, pressure coming. He goes down. Sacked by Marvin Gross, who now has a sack and an interception on the day.
Tony Gibson told us that after he dropped 8 to confuse this young freshman a few times, he was going to bring some pressure from the edges to cause trouble for the young quarterback, and that's exactly what happened that time. Marvin Gross, the spur, timing up his blitz very well. Zach Smith never saw him. By the time he felt him, it was too late. And a nice turnaround play, forcing a punt by the Mountaineers defense. Good call by Tony Gibson.
Drew Galitz on to punt. Gary Jennings at his own 10. And this will go into the end zone for a touchback. The Mountaineers defense comes up with a stop. The offense back on the field when we come back. Be honest. Do you think he's cold?
I don't know what to tell you, Justin. I don't know what to tell you. I've seen a lot. And I've seen a lot here in West Virginia, but that's a new one for me.
A look at the Big 12 standings, sponsored by Sonic, an official sponsor of the Big 12 Conference. Oklahoma 9-0 in conference play. They are the Big 12 champions.
And they had a quality win today over a very good Oklahoma State team. They need Clemson to lose, and they need to leapfrog one of those Big 10 teams, Ohio State or Michigan. They need Penn State to lose too.
How about this? Crawford off to the races, down the sideline, and he gets shoved out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A 63-yard run by Justin Crawford.
Good job by Graylin Arnold, showing a lot of speed and chasing down Crawford, who felt him coming for a while, but a nice run.
Howard in the pocket, he goes down. KJ Smith.
West Virginia trying to take advantage of the momentum and throw the ball with Skylar Howard down the field. KJ Smith has none of it, makes a sack.
Crawford takes the handoff. Tyrone Hunt with a tackle. Crawford gets 5 yards. 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 7. Howard, the quick pass, and it's a drop by Devontae Mathis.
And sometimes when it rains, it pours. And sometimes when it rains, it pours cats and dogs, which is really bad. When you're struggling at quarterback and you're missing a lot of guys, and finally you have one right on the money, right at the sticks, and Devontae Mathis drops it.
A 31-yard field goal attempt here for Molina to make it a 1-point game. And that is no good. So Molina is 1 for 3 in the game. He is missed from 31 and 46 and made from 50. And the struggles continue. Dana Holgerson can't believe what he's seeing. His team trails by 4. Mike Molina is practicing on the sidelines as he missed his 2nd field goal of the game. This last one from 31 yards. Baylor takes over at the 20. Low snap, Zach Smith able to get rid of it and completes it to Ishmael Zamora. And Zamora down the sideline gets 7 yards.
That play has worked well on the last 2 first downs for Baylor. Zach Smith, a good arm, able to really whip it out there in a hurry.
Second down and 3. Another quick pass, this time to K.D. Cannon. And forward progress, they're giving him first down. Rasul Douglas with the tackle.
Zach Smith looked better and better and more confident throwing the intermediate stuff. He has the 1 home run ball to K.D. Cannon that came to fruition. It seems like he's playing with some confidence here in the second half.
He really is. Stepping into his throws. Now 8 of 16 for 109 yards. And 377 last week. Hands off to Shock Linwood. And Linwood gets tackled by David Long, and Justin Hart gets 2 yards.
Big cushion on the top there, Justin.
Throws underneath, spinning away is Zamora. Got through the tackle of Elijah Battle.
Yeah, there was just too much cushion in this situation. A guy like Zamora is going to be able to run a slant and see that all day. The freshman saw it too, Zach Smith. Well executed by the Bears.
Handoff up the middle to Linwood. Darian Howard with a tackle, another pickup of 2 yards for Linwood. Let me ask this question. It's 14-10. The offense obviously hasn't been there. The quarterbacks haven't had great games. Is the weather at all a factor?
Well, I think the players would tell you it is. You know, I think when you talk to the coaches, they would say, well, you know, we all got to play in the same weather and we all have to deal with it. And we've seen big offensive explosive games with the weather, but it is very cold out there. There's no doubt about it. And it seems to have affected Skylar Howard throwing the ball most of all.
Another quick pass, a drop this time by K.D. Cannon with Rasul Douglas closing in quickly.
See the heaters down there. I went down and tested them all out before the game. They're all fully operational. And those chairs, they're heated. Those benches, I did not know that. We didn't have that in my day.
You played at USC.
And we walked
They should
uphill.
have had coolers.
Uphill both ways in the snow to practice every day. Nobody's sitting on those heated benches.
3rd and 8. Pressure coming. He gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Ishmael Zamora, the intended receiver. Elijah Battle on the coverage, and Smith was getting pressure.
It's David Long, number 11, that comes in and just saw Zach Smith in half there, causing the errant throw. The late pressure from the linebacker, forcing the punt. Another nice call. We'd be remiss if we didn't say Tony Gibson is having a great game, dialing up blitzes and dropping guys into coverage to mess with the quarterback.
Tony Gibson has been a big reason for the success here at West Virginia. Drew Galich just got it away. The fair catch is made by Gary Jennings at the 19-yard line. Time for a game break. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
About more now from the SEC Championship. Alabama and Florida one-sided early. Bama's Joshua Jacobs, would return to block punt for a score earlier in this game, takes a more conventional route this time, 6 yards and the score. It's 33-16 Crimson Tide at the half. It looks like Alabama now a lock to hold that number 1 spot in the playoffs. Question now is probably only who's going to join them.
First and 10 for the Mountaineers. Ball at the 20.
Yeah, the question there is, with Alabama going, Washington winning last night
They're
in the Pac-12 championship. You
So
say
there's
they're
two.
going.
There's 2 right there. We need another 2.
Here on first down, it's Crawford. And Crawford able to slip a tackle and pick up a few extra yards, gets 9. Orion Stewart with his 6th tackle of the game.
That's what you see from a more veteran back, a guy like Justin Crawford. He got out to the edge, but then immediately turned his pads downfield and got the necessary yardage, all that he could get.
Howard completes the pass to Nikhil Shorts. And Shorts takes it up to the 38, where Chance Waz tackles him. A 9-yard pickup, first down.
And that's what Shorts brings to this offense. He had the great acrobatic catch in the first half for a touchdown.
A run play after the pass play. It's Crawford.
Crawford on the carry.
4 yards. Greg Roberts with a stop.
Greg Roberts, stop for Baylor.
I thought it was interesting.
Second and 4. Second and
What Jim Grove told us about Greg Roberts is sometimes he's so aggressive he actually gets too far. And here's a shot down the field for Gibson, just off his fingertips as he lays out for it.
Holgerson still taking his shots, despite the fact that Skylar Howard has struggled. Double coverage there, but he was able to get it behind the defenders, Ryan Stewart and Graylin Arnold. And Gibson did have a chance at that ball. Frustrating night for him. It has to be, especially with the kick return that got called back. Big 3rd down.
Skylar Howard now 9 of 23 for 54 yards. On 3rd and 6, completes the pass. Gary Jennings to the end zone for a touchdown. 58 yards, and just like that, West Virginia goes on top.
Well, you said it, Justin, just like that. Skylar Howard, you got to give him credit. Not getting down on himself, just keeps coming. And that time throws a seed to Gary Jennings, who uses his speed and his length to finish the play.
Molina on for the extra point. 17-14. Gary Jennings came into this game with 96 receiving yards on the season. He got 58 on that one play.
Skylar Howard throwing it with purpose, and that's about as on the money as you can get it. Orion Stewart is the guy that missed the tackle. Again, Gary Jennings only 7 catches for under 100 yards coming into the year. Sophomore out of Stafford, Virginia, with a huge play right down the hash to give the Mountaineers the lead.
hasn't been pretty for either team, but right now West Virginia, as you said, give credit to Skylar Howard. He's stuck with it. This Mountaineer team, they've stuck with it, and now they lead by 3.
And credit to Dana Holgerson for leaving his quarterback in the game. Not that they have a lot of other options. Continuing to throw the ball down the field, continuing to try to stretch the field with Shelton Gibson, and you get something intermediate to the house, and that's a lot happier conversation on the phone for Skylar Howard.
Mike Molina. Now the kickoff with Tony Nicholson back deep. Nicholson from the goal line. And flags come flying out as Nicholson gets tackled at the 19-yard line. Let's wait to see what all these flags are for. And the initial signal is it's going against Baylor.
During the return, holding, return team, number 38. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul, first down.
Well, tonight, the Big Ten Championship on Fox. It's going to be a showdown. Number 6, Wisconsin. Number 7, Penn State. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on Fox, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. All right, P, your top 4 right now.
All right, right now, it's Alabama, Clemson, because they played with that sword of Damocles hanging over their head all year. Washington, who beat a good, solid Colorado team very well last night. And I hate to do it because we just don't have the congruity in college football, the uniformity. But I think Ohio State's the best team from the Big Ten available.
JaMycal Hasty takes it up to the 15-yard line. He gets 6. Hasty again. Schuler and Arts there for the tackle.
West Virginia's done a good job of limiting big plays. They had the one to Katie Cannon, but that's what Baylor lives on, and they've cut it off. A couple of long runs and a long pass, but other than that, they've been very solid defensively.
3rd and 2. Pressure coming again. And it looks like the ball came loose. West Virginia recovered. Marvin Gross forced the fumble.
Well,
and Darian Howard recovered it.
It's that 3-3-5, Justin. Those guys coming from all over the place. Tony Gibson dials up Marvin Gross.
And now flags are thrown as well.
To come on the blitz. Marvin Gross gets home, and not only does he sack Zach Smith this time, he knocks the ball loose for Howard, the nose tackle, to fall on it.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Deep offense number 68, half the distance to the goal, first down.
They got Ishmael Wilson, the left guard, for unsportsmanlike, going after the fumble at the same time as Darian Howard. That is a costly penalty because now the Mountaineers are knocking at the door right outside the 5-yard line. Great blitz call again by Tony Gibson, getting his dogs after it. And that's the unsportsmanlike, the ball getting smacked out of the hand of Darian Howard by Ishmael Wilson. Unnecessary.
3rd takeaway of the game for West Virginia. And now it's 1st and goal from the 6. Marvin Gross is having himself a game. A handoff to Crawford. Crawford keeps those legs going. And now the whistle is blown. It's 4 yards up to the 2-yard line.
Geez, I thought for a second he was going to be able to move it all the way in. Every once in a while you see the will of a back with a couple of linemen pushing with him. And they get gravity on their side, but a nice physical run. I formation again. I think they're just going to try to run him over. Watch the fullback here.
Elijah Wellman, the fullback from West Virginia. They're going to throw. Gibson. And it's batted away. Grayland Arnold there on the coverage of Shelton Gibson.
Well, they faked Wellman blocking into the line of scrimmage, thought they would catch. Arnold sleeping out there on the edge against Gibson. He was not, and the ball was just a little short, a little more air on that ball, and Gibson would have had a better chance.
3rd and goal from the 2. Crawford trying to keep those legs churning. And he's down shy of the goal line. And that's the way this 3rd quarter is going to come to a close. Well, Dana Holgerson will have time to think about it. 4th and goal when we come back. Crawford gets stopped short of the goal line, or does he? We go to the 4th quarter here in Morgantown, 17-14, West Virginia leading. We went to break saying, was he in? Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, what do you see here on the run by Justin Crawford?
Yeah, as we looked at it, we saw the right knee on the ground right there, clearly before he breaks in. The official pointed to the ground, which indicated that he ruled.
So on 4th and goal, it's Skylar Howard running. He gets pushed in for the touchdown.
Howard's going to get credit for the touchdown, but it was Elijah Wellman again with a big push on the back of his quarterback because the initial surge was not good enough. I've been pretty impressed with how ready to play this Baylor front has been in this game. There's no give up in them, but Elijah Wellman and Justin Crawford, whose knee was down, as Mike Pereira was just explaining to us as the play happened. Both backs really getting a good push along with Orlovsky to get Howard into the end zone.
The extra point is good. The 2nd touchdown of the day for West Virginia on 4th down. And it's now 24-14, Mountaineers over the Baylor Bears. And don't forget, it was all set up off the sack fumble by Marvin Gross Jr.
Yeah, another blitz dialed up. And that 3-3-5 by Tony Gibson. And this time, unlike the last turnover they forced, West Virginia able to capitalize, and not just with 3, 7.
21 unanswered points now for the Mountaineers. A couple of touchdowns in the last 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And now Mike Molina will kick off once again for West Virginia.
And I'll tell you, Justin, for a team that won 6 straight to begin the year and was ranked number 8, and now has lost 5 straight since then, Baylor's proven a lot of desire today so far.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 4 Baylor losses have been by 21 points or more. And here they are. We'll see if they can answer here now, down 10 in the cold in the 4th quarter.
Tony Nicholson will let this one go into the end zone, and Baylor will start at the 25. You know, you think about this Baylor season, and you mentioned how they got off to the good start, 6-0, how they were ranked 8th in the country. And then for Baylor, they had the tough loss at Texas, 35-34, and that seemed to be like that domino. And there were so much off-field issues that once that first domino fell, it just steamrolled.
It's been a very tough job for Coach Grove. Keep everybody together, keep everybody positive, because the future is very uncertain in Waco. There's no doubt about it. He knew that it was only a year deal for him. Really an 8-month commitment is what he and his wife saw it as. And they've had a wonderful experience, they say, with the people of Baylor University.
On first down. The handoff to Jermichael Hasty. Gets 5.
The ball carrier.
I mean, Jim Grove said the people in Waco are some of the nicest people he's ever encountered in his life. Smith down the sideline. And he completes that pass to Chris Platt, who makes the acrobatic catch.
Well, they told us Zach Smith had arm talent. This is the definition of that. Right on the money.
38 yards, and they're going fast. Smith to the end zone. Incomplete, no flag on the play. Katie Cannon, the intended receiver. Rasul Douglas there on the coverage.
You don't want to test that guy too much. Rasul Douglas out of East Orange, New Jersey. 8 picks on the year. Almost got another one here. He does a good job of recovering because Cannon was open for a second. Not a bad throw by Smith. Douglas able to get his hands in there.
Douglas has an interception in 4 consecutive games. On second down, the handoff to Hasty. Not much room to go, gets a couple yards just beyond the 30. Tony Gibson, 3rd year as the defensive coordinator here for the Mountaineers. And he calls his guys his dogs. He's got them playing.
They all get t-shirts that say dogs on it too. For some reason, people in America love t-shirts. You give somebody a t-shirt and they'll perform for you. That's their secret. They make a t-shirt every couple weeks.
3rd down and 8. High throw, incomplete through the hands of Katie Cannon. With the ball at the 30-yard line. 4th and 8.
There's Katie Cannon coming out of his break. Great athlete, but even that one was a little too high for him.
Keeping the offense on the field, going forward here on 4th and 8 from the 30, down by 10. Play clock is down to 3, and Baylor's going to have to use a timeout. A timeout here, we'll take one as well. 4th and 8 coming up for the Baylor Bears. (24-14) West Virginia leading Baylor. 4th and 8 coming up for the Bears. And this week, start your Sunday with Fox NFL Kickoff and America's #1 pregame show. Then it's the Rams against the Patriots. And then America's Game of the Week, the Giants and the Steelers, or other regional action. Coverage begins tomorrow, 11 Eastern on Fox. 4th and 8 here for the Baylor Bears. After the timeout, what does Baylor have up its sleeve? Jermichael Hasty in the backfield. What kind of pressure does Tony Gibson bring? Low snap. Smith. Flag is thrown. Smith throws, and it's incomplete.
Well, Tony Gibson rushed 4 with a linebacker coming a little bit late and still got some good pressure.
Holding. Offense number 76. Penalties decline. Ball goes over on downs.
Mo Porter gets the holding call, but none of it matters. Smith gingerly moving toward the sideline as West Virginia comes up with another stop. There you see the 4-man rush, and then Arndt comes late, making it a 5-man rush, and then it's Arndt bearing down on Smith. Noble Wachiku there as well.
And don't forget, Baylor is playing with Zach Smith because Seth Russell is out after injuring his ankle against Oklahoma. And now Skylar Howard keeps it on the quarterback run, and he gets 8 yards. Taylor Young with a tackle. This is a tackle.
Yeah, big hit by Taylor Young. And you were talking about Seth Russell. I mean, that's what he brought to that Baylor offense. He could throw it well, too, but he was a great runner for them.
Speaking of a great runner, Justin Crawford. Joe Wickline, the offensive coordinator for West Virginia, when talking about Justin Crawford, he said, you just go, wow. He's got that wow factor.
His body's alive, so he's got a suddenness to his body. He's got over 200 yards and now over 1,000 for the season.
He's at 203 on the day. Now turning into the nighttime here in Morgantown. It's Crawford again. This time he gets met at the line by KJ Smith.
With the no gain on first down, we'll see what happens for the rest of this series. But Justin, you were talking about it in the first half, how Dana Holgorsen says he's a different coach than he was when he started here in West Virginia. This fourth quarter could be an example of that. You're going to watch his team maybe eat some clock here, try to grind it out. At least they have at the beginning of this drive. This was something that was very difficult for Dana to do when he was a younger coach.
Yeah, I mean, and just look at what they've done in the run game under Holgorsen. Howard gets hit in the backfield by KJ Smith. And he's going to lose a yard. But we mentioned that 2013 season as the turning point for Dana Holgorsen. That's when he was 4-8, and he said, you know what? That's when I looked in the mirror and said, I got to change something. And they did. They changed their offensive approach. They changed their defensive approach. Howard, with pressure coming, throws towards the sideline. Dangerous ball, because over there was Grayland Arnold covering Shelton Gibson, and Arnold almost picked it off.
Patrick Levels with some good pressure on Howard late. He just kind of flips it out there without really surveying it. Lucky it didn't get picked. And you have to give this Baylor defense a lot of credit. They looked gassed earlier in that drive, and they're able to bow up, make 2 stops in the run game for Phil Bennett, and force a 4th down.
Billy Kinney on to punt once again with Tony Nicholson. This will take a Baylor bounce and bounce out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A 10-point lead for the Mountaineers here. 11:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Twenty-one unanswered points by the Mountaineers, and they lead 24-14. Dana Holgorsen with his quarterback Skylar Howard, as his defense is now on the field against this Baylor offense. Zach Smith joined in the backfield by Jamichael Hasty. On first down, Smith completes the pass to Ishmael Zamora. Howard, a couple of touchdown passes, but the rest of his aerial assault hasn't been there. But how about the run game for Justin Crawford? 203 yards on the ground for the Mountaineers. A good game for Marvin Gross, an interception, a couple of sacks, forced fumble. And now over the middle, completed pass to Jared Atkinson, and Atkinson, he fumbles the ball. And West Virginia recovers it. Rasul Douglas. So Rasul Douglas doesn't have an interception, but he gets a fumble recovery.
Jared Atkinson got by Elijah Battle. The ball was right on target, and he was there. But then a really nice forced fumble by Battle. Comes in and makes the play. Ooh, was that knee down? That right knee could have been down before the ball was dislodged. Remember, the call on the field is a fumble.
Wow, that is close.
Pretty close. I could see them overturning this. I could also see it being too close to overturn.
Let's bring in Mike Pereira once again from LA. Mike, we're keeping you busy here today. Hope you don't mind, but Petros.
I think I'm going to go with Petros on this one, huh? I could see them overturning this, but then I could see them being this too close to being overturned. I mean,
well, thank
sounds
goodness
a little
you're
bit
here.
like myself here.
Well, there you see the ball's in his hand, Mike.
Yeah, this is what, like, to me, again, they ruled on the field that it is a fumble, that the ball came out before the knee came down. You know, is it rolling out first? I kind of think the knee is out first, down first before the ball comes loose. So if I was the replay official, I think I'd look and say, look, at the ball doesn't pop out. So I'd actually put it as catching down by catching down. Of course, I always try to say catching down by contact. We know that doesn't apply in college football, but it's just being down.
By the way, Mike,
after reviewing the play, the runner's right knee was down prior to the ball coming out. It will be 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Please set the clock to 10:48. 10:48.
Couple of wafflers were right, huh?
Yeah, and I was just going to comment that I like Mike's three-piece suit.
Oh, he looks good.
Yeah.
He looks good in there.
He does.
You think it's cold here in West Virginia? You should go into Pereira's little box. It's like the 7th circle of hell. It's so cold.
Thanks, Mike. You got it right yet again. Always appreciate it. It's a 20-yard completion.
He hedged it
to Jared Atkinson. Well, he did say he would overturn it.
I don't know. I got to check the tape.
So 1st and 10 now from the 48. Smith. He's going to run. Oh,
punished.
He may think twice about running again. He got 2 yards. Al-Rashid Benton delivered the blow, and you could see him getting up and just hobbling around back there. Hand off to Hasty, and Hasty gets chased down from behind by David Long. No gain on the play. 3rd and 8 coming up.
David Long's done a good job of having some delayed blitzes and chasing plays down for the backside.
Smith, he will run again. He has a block, and Smith, he gets the yardage for the 1st down. Justin Arndt finally chases him down. And again, watch him hobble back towards the line.
Freshman showing a lot of heart here. 6'4", 235, trying to move that body where he's not right in the legs. Obviously, lurching forward for the 1st down.
The way he's moving right there, he didn't look like an 18, 19-year-old kid. Hasty up the middle. Up to the 32-yard line, gets 6. JaMychal Hasty came in averaging 5.3 yards per carry.
They've used a lot of backs. He's got 100 carries on the year.
Able to get a couple more yards, setting up 3rd and short. Christian Brown has had a good game as his 4th tackle. And now 3rd and 2 coming up. With 8:50 to go, a 10-point game. They're thinking about this Baylor offense. They just need points here. Whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, you just need points. Hasty. He gets the 1st down. A flag is thrown from the backfield. And it's going to be a hold.
Penalties have hurt both teams.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot.
Yeah.
Replay 3rd down.
That was Ishmael Wilson, and I believe he's blocking Darian Howard there. Darian Howard is the nose tackle, and there's Ishmael. That is a hold. He took him down.
So instead of a first down, you now go to 3rd and 12.
And it takes them out of field goal range.
That's the 10th accepted penalty for Baylor in this game. 10 penalties for 90 yards. Hasty, not much room to run. And he gets gang tackled at the 38-yard line. He gets 2.
Well, this is going to be 4-down territory. Big penetration on that play by Noble Wachiku that really blew it up. I think Coach Grove and Kendall Browns were hoping for a little bit more of a game there so they would have a more manageable 4th down.
And I think you like saying Noble Wachiku.
I do.
4th and 10. The ball is batted. It looked like Christian Brown may have gotten a hand on it again. Christian Brown has been busy in this game. A turnover on downs after that penalty. It is Christian Brown. It's still a 10-point lead for West Virginia. Jim Grove was hired as the acting head coach for this 1 year for Baylor. So obviously, with the season coming to a close, the question is who's going to take over for the Baylor Bears? And these are just some of the coaching candidates that have been mentioned.
Yeah, these guys have all been mentioned. We don't really know the details. And obviously the coaching carousel is murky and a kind of a fun time of year too if you're into it. But the one thing Baylor does have a lot of is money. They have a lot of money, and they can pay one of these guys a lot of money. A lot of people have talked about Sonny Dykes, saying that the Cal experiment was fun, but really didn't work out. You see that he's under 500 for his career at Cal, and he is a Texas guy with roots in this kind of offense. That being said, you know, the assistants are all going to disperse as well. And a lot of people wanted that to happen, you know, in the offseason. They don't realize that if that were to happen, Baylor would not have been able to field a team this season.
Hand off to Petaway.
And these assistants have kind of hung together all season long, coaching these guys and working hard, while Grove has done most of the public talking and basically media stuff. And it's been a very awkward year in Waco.
Petaway trying to reach for that first down. And he's going to be down, looking like just shy of it, on Edwards. It has been an awkward and tough year in Waco. And people will say, well, yeah, it's been a tough year off the field, tough year on the field. And as far as the coaching situation is concerned,
Illegal substitution defense, 12 men. The 12th man did not get off the field prior to the snap. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
another penalty against Baylor.
They're trying to get a guy off late. Did not beat the snap, according to the officials. Phil Bennett thought he did.
1st and 10 for the Mountaineers. Ball at the Baylor 49.
So now 1st and 10, but Baylor's not the only job that's available.
That's why the carousel's so interesting.
Oregon.
One guy moves and the dominoes start to fall.
Houston is available.
Purdue.
Right away the ball carrier. Blanchard for Baylor. No game.
5.5 to go in this one. 24-14, West Virginia leading Baylor. The Mountaineers trying to pick up their 10th victory of the season to move to 10-2, 7-2 in Big 12 play. We talk about the change in philosophy for Dana Holgorsen and this West Virginia team and how they run the ball and run the ball so well now. Now, obviously, part of it is the fact that Skylar Howard hasn't been on target today in the air, but Justin Crawford so effective running the ball today. 203 yards. They've rushed for 307 as a team.
Crawford's going to have another year, and this kid, I think, is a star in the making in Martell Pettaway. I love his physicality. Heavy runner. You see he's averaging about 4 yards right now, exactly 4 yards. But once he learns to follow his offensive linemen and to trust those blocks a little bit more, look out. That kid's a lot of fun to watch, too.
Pettaway gets sent backwards. Taylor Young, who's made an impact in his return to the lineup for Baylor.
Second time out of the half.
With 4:18 to go here in this fourth quarter. West Virginia up by 10. (24-14), number 16 West Virginia leading Baylor. Justin Kutcher alongside Petros Papadakis back here at Milan Puskar Stadium. Billy Kinney on to punt with Tony Nicholson back inside his own 10. Baylor brought some pressure, and the fair catch is made at the 14-yard line. And time now for a look at our Nissan Heisman watch, and it's getting close down the wire.
For the last time this year, my picks, which mean nothing for the Heisman other than faces on our screen of guys that have played great all year. What about my guy Pumphrey down in San Diego? Baker Mayfield, after losing that game to Ohio State, has been excellent. I love Peppers in the Charles Woodson style in Michigan. And there he is, Lamar. He's had too much of a year for me to keep him off the list. He's done too well and stayed healthy all year despite taking an enormous amount of hits. What a statistical masterpiece Lamar Jackson put together in Louisville.
You know, it's kind of rare for a guy to surprise people in week 1 of a season and put his name in the hat for a Heisman Trophy and then kind of take it, never really trail.
I remember Dennis Dixon having a year like that at Oregon, where he just couldn't be stopped, and then toward the end of the year he did his knee at Arizona, and that was that. And I thought that was coming for Jackson, just with so much punishment, but man, did he get through it.
Good run here by Jamichael Hasty. Jared Harper with a tackle. Well, Petros, this is obviously our last game together this year, as this is the final game of the season for us here on this 2016 college football season, and we're very lucky to work with a great bunch of people, and each week we try to let you know who our producer and directors are, and our producer Kevin Patterson, our director Mitch Riggin. We've been with these guys all year. Our associate directors that we've had throughout the year: Andy Kavanaugh, Gilbert Cepeda. This week, Brad Bartle. Our broadcast associate, Trevor Hayes. Computer stats, Anthony Papadakis, Casey Garland this week. But we've also had guys camera people, guys in the truck who have done an incredible job throughout the year, who travel with us week after week. Our audio mixer, Paul London. Foxbox operator, Mark Cole. Steve Grant, tape operator. Sully in video. Sean Cahulia in graphics. Karina Riggin, camera, who sets up our booth. We can't thank her enough. Mickey Wheeler in camera. Pat and Tom, truck engineers. Hill Thornell, our tech producer, of course. A touchdown here for Ishmael Zamora to make it a 24-20 game. Now 43-yard touchdown pass as Zach Smith is hobbling down there.
Smith showing a lot of courage. I mean, he is beat up and he is threading the needle with some of these throws. That's Elijah Battle behind Ishmael Zamora. Makes a great play on the ball.
So now the extra point for Chris Callahan. It's a 3-point game with 2:40 to go.
The freshman showing a lot of promise, throwing the ball for Baylor's uncertain future, getting it to Ishmael Zamora to the house. And now, can West Virginia do what Zach Smith just did, which is gut it out and eat the clock? That's the kind of drive that Baylor wants to have. 1:30.
Well, 1 timeout remaining for Baylor. That kind of forces the hand, no?
It does.
Does it force the hand for an onside kick with 2:40?
It's close. It's pretty close. I think you got to do it. I think you got to make the onside kick and see what happens from there with only the 1 timeout. Their offense just waited a little too long to come to life to try to do this at the end of the game conventionally. So hands team and the onside team coming out. You practice this stuff every Friday.
It'll be Drew Galitz to try to pull it off.
That's K.D. Cannon. But he's got the same number on as Reed, so he can't be out there with him. Good that they caught that, because that could be a penalty.
36,
So here we go with 2:40 to go. The onside kick. It's up. Baylor, they say they have it.
Ryan Stewart really aggressively came after the ball, and it was between him and a Mountaineer.
And Baylor does have it. Orion Stewart recovers the onside kick.
That ball was kind of hanging there for anybody to get it. Let's see, did it go 10 yards? There's the 5. Yeah, it was touched by a West Virginia player first,
Right.
I believe, so then it doesn't matter if it went 10 yards. I'm not sure if it went 10 yards. There it is right there. It was between Crawford and
The
Stewart.
wording on the field is that the ball was touched by the receiving team, recovered at this spot, first down Baylor.
And that's the right call. It looked like Justin Crawford had a hand on it too, and he just couldn't get to it as quickly as Orion Stewart. And now things have gotten very
The play is
interesting.
under further review.
It takes the bounce that they needed it to take, just making things awkward. You got West Virginia players going up and trying to put hits on approaching Bears as opposed to going after the ball. Wellman never gets a chance at the ball. He gets hit, and Crawford comes across to try to get it, but can't do it.
All right, so we brought Mike Pereira in a couple times. We'll bring him in once again. Mike, take us through what you're looking at on this play.
Well, we were looking at 22 first, and then we think actually 25 touches it actually before 28 does. So I think they'll stay with this call on the field since it's touched. Petros made note of it, that it didn't go 10 yards, but it's touched first by the receiving team. We think number 25. You'll see it coming up here. So very close as to who touches it first, but I think they'll stay with Baylor ending up with the ball at the end of the play.
Justin Crawford's number 25 for West Virginia. Orion Stewart, number 28 for Baylor.
And Crawford had a beat on that ball. Orion just came over the top of him and snatched it away.
what's crazy about this whole scenario is with Baylor's offense, 2:39 to go. And we've seen what they can do in a blink of an eye.
Now this game is far from over.
And for those of you tuning in for the Ultimate Fighter finale pre-fight show, we'll get you there at the immediate conclusion of our game. In the meantime, if you're looking for that show, it is available on FS2 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
After reviewing the play, prior to the ball going 10 yards, we have an illegal block by the kicking team player number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty. Because the ball was recovered by the kicking team, it's a 5-yard penalty, and we'll re-kick.
Did you say that? I did. Well, why didn't you tell me?
Illegal block, they say. Phil Bennett is past the numbers.
Mike, let's bring it back in. They're saying number 20, Avion Edwards, with the illegal block.
And he's really the one that got hit.
You know what they've got here, Petros, is you cannot initiate the block as a kicking team player. You can't initiate a block until you are eligible to recover. And since the ball hadn't gone 10 yards or hadn't touched a receiving team member by then number 20 is prohibited from blocking. And they made that reviewable this year.
Did he
for the
initiate
first
it?
year, I believe that. Well, I think he did after coming off of 22, and then he initiates the block after that.
Oh.
And that's what they called in replay and what they're allowed to do this year. And again, the key is the block occurred, comes off here, now watch. Into that block there, and again, you can't do it if you're not eligible to touch at that point, regardless of where the ball was. And since it had gone 10 yards, that's what made it a foul.
So now they'll try it again, this time from the 30. They go the opposite way, and it's dove on right away by Trevon Wesco.
Well, what an adventure. There he is, trying with the deke opposite move. They don't get the fortuitous bounce. And the local guy out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, Trevon Wesco, with the big play. Very interesting that play, that the blocks became reviewable.
Yeah.
And that they could look at that in the booth. There was contact initiated before the ball was touched, and by the letter of the law, they made the right call.
One timeout remaining for Baylor. A handoff to Crawford. And there is the timeout, the last timeout for Baylor.
Baylor takes their third and final timeout of the half, 30 seconds. Please set the game clock to
So here in this second half, for the Mountaineers, Gary Jennings with a huge touchdown. Marvin Gross Jr., the sack fumble, and then Skylar Howard punched it in, and then back the other way. Ishmael Zamora, the touchdown to make it a 3-point game. We thought an onside kick recovery. We were wondering, as they're looking at the play, were they looking at the play to see if who touched the ball first? It turns out when they were looking at it, they saw an illegal block, so they had to re-kick it. And when they kicked again, West Virginia was able to recover.
A confounding moment in the game, no doubt, for Phil Bennett, Baylor's defensive coordinator, who kind of acts a little bit like a head coach on the sideline. I mean, he comes way out past the numbers. He's been conversating with the officials from the afternoon into the night here.
Handoff once again to Crawford. Baylor cannot stop the clock now. 4-yard run for Crawford. 3rd and 5 coming up. Get a first down here, and West Virginia will have their 10th victory of the year.
It was a strange game, there's no doubt about it. A lot of calls, a lot of reviews.
It's only fitting that the first game of the year that we had was the Central Michigan-Oklahoma State game.
Yeah, that ended even more controversial than this one could ever.
And now they'll take the timeout with that play clock winding down. And now for the final game of the year, we have this strange game.
30 seconds.
Again, for those of you tuning in for the Ultimate Fighter finale pre-fight show, we'll get you there at the immediate conclusion of our game. In the meantime, if you are looking for that show, it is available on FS2 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The good news for both these teams is that they're bowl eligible.
Yeah, and that's one of the questions about Baylor. You know, will they go to a bowl? Do they want to? Jim Grobe sees it as a reward for his players, the guys that have stuck it out this year and been through so much. And I believe they will play in a bowl. West Virginia is going to get a better bowl with this, we assume, would be their 10th win. A great season here in Morgantown for Dana Holgerson's group. And the real thing that people aren't talking about with Baylor, with all the assistants moving on, regardless of who they hire as the head coach, the recruiting is going to be very different from the last couple years, you know, into this year's recruiting class. And what they're going to look like, who will be in charge, what will be the identity of the team, all of those things are in limbo. But they do have a very competitive ability to pay a head coach and good assistants.
On 3rd and 5. Crawford gets stopped. Picks up 2. Taylor Young, another tackle.
And now Dana Holgerson's kind of in no man's land. He's going to run clock, and then do you want to risk putting your punter back there? Can Howard do a little quick kick, or do you just run around? Eat the ball. The clock is going to stop at a change of possession also. They're going to take a delay of game instead of taking the timeout.
Delay of game, offense.
Which
5-yard penalty.
kind of tells you what their game plan is.
Correction, the penalties decline. 4th down.
There's an even 1 minute to go. And Billy Kinney is on to punt. Tony Nicholson will wait for it inside the 10.
Remember, all Baylor needs is a field goal to tie this game up, and they can move the ball.
This will be a touchback. So a net punt of 12 yards. And so Zach Smith, who is hobbling, will come back out with 51 seconds. And this game isn't over yet. As you said, all they need is a field goal. They don't have any timeouts remaining. 15 of 29, 244, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And now you wonder, how aggressive do you be if you're Tony Gibson?
Well, Zach Smith is hobbling. That should tell you maybe you should be a little more aggressive than you would have been because of the way Smith is moving around right now.
The Mountaineers led by 10 with under 3 minutes to go.
Please set the game clock to 53 seconds. 5-3.
They'll reset the game clock to 53 seconds. No timeouts remaining for Baylor. Jermichael Hasty is in the backfield. Quick pass, and it's incomplete to Katie Cannon.
Dangerous pass, but it looked like if Cannon had come up with it, he might have been able to turn upfield and gotten some positive yardage. West Virginia looks to be in a bit of a prevent look right now. Only rushing 3.
The handoff. Hasty stays on his feet, gets out of bounds, gets the first down, out of bounds at the 37, picks up 17.
Pretty brilliant call there by Kendall Briles with the 3 guys rushing. You know there's going to be a hole for the back, and maybe he can create a little bit, and he does.
Smith steps up, throws, and that's batted away by Marvin Gross Jr. Once again, Katie Cannon, the intended receiver.
Like you said, Justin, Gross has had a heck of a game. Here he is on their best receiver. Breaks to the ball away from the man he was guarding and makes a play. Smith didn't see him.
Smith has it stripped from behind. Loose on the ground. Darian Howard recovers his second fumble. There is a flag on the field. And now the question is, are they going to say it was a pass or did he get stripped?
Well, I think it was Noble Wachiku, the captain, fittingly, who came around and slapped that ball out of the hand of Zach Smith. They might say it was an illegal forward pass because it could have been caught by the guard there, Ishmael Wilson. He didn't catch it.
The ruling on the field is that number 68 picked the ball up and threw it forward illegally. It's an illegal forward pass. It's an incomplete illegal forward pass. It requires a 10-second runoff. Please set the game clock to 17 seconds. Baylor retains the ball.
What a trip. Okay, they're saying it's a fumble caused by Wachiku. Ishmael Wilson picks it up and then just kind of shoved it forward like a hot potato. That's illegal. Once Wilson had possession, he had to run with it or pitch it to somebody else, but he can't throw it forward. But it gives Baylor another opportunity with the ball.
So Baylor keeps possession, a 10-second runoff.
The previous play is under further review.
Dana Holgerson wants an explanation.
I would like one too.
Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, if you can explain what we just saw in more detail, that would be helpful.
I'm not so sure I can explain anything about this game. I think you have you have a couple things to look at. First of all, the quarterback pass fumble with Smith, that's a clear fumble. Now, the question with number 68 is, does he actually get possession of this ball? Because if you call this a pass, he has to get total control and then throw the ball forward. Is the ball loose and therefore just a possibility of a bat, which really isn't in replay isn't reviewable, the act of illegal batting? So I think they're basically down to just saying, did 68 end up with control of the ball? If he did not, then the ball will go over to West Virginia at that spot. I kind of don't think he has total control of the ball, but he does shove it forward. It's only typical that this game would end in some fashion like this.
Never possessed the ball, therefore it's a fumble recovered by West Virginia. It's go by a first down at the spot of the recovery. We set the clock back to 27 seconds, 2-7.
And that's why there's nobody better in the business than Mike Pereira. Thank you, Mike. And that makes Dana Holgorsen very happy. And that is a 4th turnover of the game. And yep.
10 wins is not easy. 10 wins is hard for any coach and any team. We see the disappointment on the other sideline from Coach Grove, but congratulations to the Mountaineers. It wasn't easy tonight and was not pretty. And there's Tony Gibson, the man that was hired a few years ago, really changed the identity and the fortunes of this Mountaineer team. Give them credit. What a year they've had. They fought through a lot of their own adversity today to pull off a victory.
Like you said, it wasn't pretty, but it is a win. And it's their 10th win of the season as they defeat Baylor 24-21. 4 turnovers for the Baylor Bears. Turnovers hurt them once again. A game that was interesting to say the least. But Dana Holgorsen, his second 10-win season as the head coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers. Skylar Howard on senior night didn't have his best game, but he gets a W, and that's all anybody really cares about.
With a crazy year in the Big 12, it was really West Virginia, after Oklahoma and Oklahoma State stumbled early, that was carrying the expectations of the conference. They ended up losing to both the Oklahoma schools, but that's really the only blemish on their year. What a year, and an unexpected year for the Mountaineers.
Once again, the play that essentially ended it. That strip, never had possession. Dana Holgorsen after the reverse. There you go. Time to celebrate. Well, for all of us here in Morgantown, for my broadcast partner, Petros Papadakis, I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long from here. Coming up after the short break, we'll get you out to the Ultimate Fighter finale pre-fight show.